Let's go ahead and get into Pac-12 Power Rankings. Sean, these are your last Pac-12 Power Rankings.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that because I could have just done some fuck shit on my Power Rankings. I chose not to. I took it seriously.
What do you got?
No change at the top. Oregon, Washington still 1-2. I think there's kind of like 4 groups to this conference.
Okay.
And I think right now it's the top group, and it's Oregon and Washington. Who is better? I don't know. They're both really good, though. Then after that, I think there's about 4-5 schools. I have Oregon State moving up from 5 to 3, followed by USC, then UCLA, and then Wazoo. All of those schools, I think, are kind of interchangeable. USC is clearly just way more vulnerable, and I think people realize on a national scale. You saw that. And full credit to U of A. They were good, but, this is consecutive weeks now for USC where they keep
3 weeks.
Yeah. Like where they keep just staying in, like they keep letting teams hang around. And it's a problem I had with them last year. It doesn't seem to have gotten any better. I don't believe in USC. UCLA, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Do they have the best defense in the conference all of a sudden? They've held opponents to under 14 points in consecutive weeks. Like it's been absurd. I don't fully understand what's going on there.
And doing it with a freshman quarterback in Dante Moore.
Yeah, and Wazoo was a school that we had up at in the third spot, or in the fourth spot I had last week, and they came and handled them, which is why the center part of this conference is so weird because it's like, UCLA is better than Wazoo, who's better than Oregon State, who I think is better than USC. Like I don't really know what to do there. So it's kind of a week by week basis. You know how much I love Oregon State, so that's why I'm keeping them up there. At 7, Utah. They're still in that group, though, because, again, I don't know what Utah is. They're still Kyle Whittingham in Utah, so I got to give them the respect. They're still capable of anything, but they I don't think played this week, and then just because of what happened around them, they moved down. Not shut out, but, hey, U of A, dog. Noah Fafita
should be the starting quarterback.
He should be the starting quarterback, and if they put JDL back there.
You saw what Jed Fish said.
Yeah, he's going to. I don't know, though, because we'll see, man. If you want to win football games, Noah Fafita is the answer. He showed that against USC, a game they could have definitely won. It obviously went to triple overtime, I believe. More than ASU was able to accomplish, and ASU hung in with that USC team too. So prop where props are due. Colorado. At this point, Arizona State's become like a benchmarker for me. If you can't handle Arizona State, you're not that good of a football team. That's kind of where it is right now. And Colorado could have easily lost. The game should have gone to overtime, but ASU just forgot how to play football in the final minute. So I just don't. They're clearly not nearly as good of a team as everyone thought they would. I don't think they would beat Arizona or any of the teams above them right now. So they're at 9. Cal stays at 10. ASU stays at 11, and Stanford still bringing up the rear at 12.
Love it. Sharing in the chat, I was disappointed by Wazoo. I thought they were better than UCLA. Yeah,
same. I think a lot of us did.
It was a gross line, and you knew it was going to be kind of weird based off of the sports books had UCLA as a 3-point favorite going into that game. And I remember having that conversation with Damon. Damon's like, "Oh, I think I like Washington State." I'm like, "Nah, dude, I've seen this before," because it feels like free money, right? You've got one team that's ranked, one team that fell out of the AP top 25. They got a freshman quarterback. You're like, "There's no shot, right? There's no shot." And then they go and they do what they did. That was a hell of a game, regardless.
Chip
he's that guy, man.
He's a good coach. And yeah, I don't know that, but like literally you can do anything with that kind of 3 through 6 area, 3 through 7 area of the conference, and I'm not going to be upset about it. You can put almost any of those teams anywhere, and you can make a good argument for it.
Well, let's see where I put them. Starting off, I'm with you. Number 1, the Oregon Ducks. Number 2, the Washington Huskies. It is going to be a hell of a game on Saturday when these two teams play each other. Number 7 and number 8. There might be 100 points scored this game, but all season long we've talked about Oregon and Washington. Which team is better? We're going to have an answer, I think, on Saturday.
And also, but there is a very good chance that it's not the last time these two teams play.
That's fair.
So,
Oregon State, they are 3rd. I knew that Cal was going to give them a little bit of a dogfight. But
are you ready to put some respect on Cal's name?
They're still 10.
They put up 40 points.
They did. They put up 40 points on a good Oregon State defense. So I will leave it at that. Oregon State, though, did end up getting the win, and kind of as a result of USC going to triple overtime with U of A, and just really the way their defense has played over the last couple of weeks, I have to move them down to 4. Utah, I've got them at 5. They didn't play this week, but when they do get Cam Rising back, I do think they'll figure it out, and they still will certainly be in the conversation when we get to the end of the year of a Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about Utah is they have not been playing great football, but they're still
Cam Rising away.
Yeah, and they're still Utah, and they're still very much in the picture of this conference.
Yeah, UCLA moves up 3 spots based off of just that massive win over Wazoo. Again, credit to Dante Moore offensively, and then that UCLA defense looks like it could be one of the scariest in the conference. Wazoo dropping 2 spots because of that loss to UCLA. Arizona, I wanted to move them up, but I couldn't in reality move them up over Washington State in my mind, and then obviously over UCLA too. So
yeah, I don't think there's any. I think Arizona's a solid football team. It's not by any means a slight to Arizona, but I don't think you can make a real argument to put them above any of the teams that are above them. Yeah, especially when they don't know who they're playing at quarterback.
Exactly, and I do think that there is still a gap between.
Yes, I agree. That like I was saying, that's kind of where that third tier in my mind starts.
8, about that 8th spot
I
for
think
sure.
There's about 3.5 teams in it.
Colorado, they dropped 2 spots despite the win over Arizona State. That defense looked as bad as we thought it was going to be. And offensively, from the offensive line, they need to get that figured out because you go out and you play a defense that is ranked in the AP top 25, or you figure you put that UCLA defense against Colorado, they are going to eat.
I mean, I don't know if they play Oregon State this year, but that seems the potential to be a bloodbath because, I mean, although Oregon State gave up 40 points to Cal, I do still believe they have a very good defense, and their offense is clearly like if you put Oregon State's defense last year and their offense this year, I think they win the national championship. At least the conference. I'm not even joking to you. Their defense was unbelievable last year. They held USC to like 16 points or whatever it was, and then their offense this year is just putting up points. DJ Uiagalelei is that guy apparently. Man, I just wish they could put it together.
Cal at 10. I wanted to, again, show them a little bit of respect, but I couldn't justify moving them over the 2 teams that really had a win and dropped 2 spots, and then one in U of A that, went to the wire against SC.
There's absolutely no reason. I think, like I said,
I think Cal could be Colorado.
That's where that tier is, too. I think Cal, Colorado, and Arizona, you put any of those 2 teams on the field at the same time, you're going to get a really good football game.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly. Arizona State at 11. They, to your point, it hasn't been the season that they wanted up until this point with injuries and everything kind of going on. But, there's hope that they'll eventually figure it out. Maybe not this year, but going into the rest of Kenny's tenure at ASU, and then Stanford's still the worst team in the conference in my mind. They're in a tier of their own, to be honest with you.